G'day everyone, and welcome to the first of what is sure to be many solo commentaries that I'm going to be doing on this channel. Today I'm doing The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD, which is an HD remake of probably my favourite Zelda game of all time, if not my favourite game of all time. Zelda: The Wind Waker was my first Zelda, so maybe I'm a bit blinded by nostalgia there, but I really think it is one of those games that has definitely stood the test of time, right up there with kind of those other classics that people commonly point to, like Ocarina or Final Fantasy VII, as some of the best games ever. I think Wind Waker definitely shares some of that legacy, which is kind of why I was a bit confused when they announced an HD remake, because it's like, it's probably the Zelda game that's aged the best out of all of them, and kind of the least needing of higher definition. But yeah, I've been excited for this game ever since they first announced it. It's my favourite Zelda game for sure, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this. Obviously I'm going to do Hero Mode, because I've played the original like 5 times at least since it came out 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago. So yeah, I'm looking for a bit of extra challenge on this playthrough, so I'm going to be doing Hero Mode, and I'll shut up for a bit and let this awesome opening cutscene speak for itself. Man, that cutscene still gives me goosebumps. Such an awesome opening cinematic. The fact that there's no moving pictures in it is really cool. Like, it's a great little... It's like a storybook start to the game. Man, this looks good. Like, I, along with pretty much everyone else who saw the screenshots of this game when it was announced, was like, this is way too bloomy. But this actually looks really good, particularly in motion. I think they've definitely dialed it down a bit though from those early screenshots, because the grass was like fluoro green. It was impossible to look at. It looked like you were walking through toxic sludge. But this actually looks really pretty. I'm very impressed with that. I'm not actually sure if they've upgraded the character models. They still look a bit angular. Which is not a bad thing if they haven't really done that. I mean, a lot of the charm from the original game was how sort of cutesy and cartoonish it looked. And those limitations kind of helped with that. See, I think that's an instance where the bloom really is working, even though it's quite bright in the background. I mean, it's the ocean, what do you expect? I wonder what day it is. That, of course, was that iconic image of Link half asleep. Often photoshopped to make him look stoned. As if you'd forget, honestly. And there's that woman with that pot, who just constantly walks around. Never puts it down, never actually goes anywhere, just always has a pot on her head. I remember it was like touted as a feature of the game, where if you broke people's pots, they'd make you pay for them. And that was really cool at the time. Like, people were like, wow, that's really inventive. Kind of making fun of the fact that Link always just goes into people's houses and breaks their shit. Alright, so this looks amazing. Just gonna point that out there right now. Everything's so vibrant. Like, the original game I thought was vibrant, but this is colourful. This is really good. I'm gonna be gushing over this for like probably the first 20 hours, or until I finish it, whichever happens first, probably. I still remember playing this for the first time when I got it for my birthday in 2003. 13 years old. And had never had the pleasure of playing a Zelda game before. And learning how to jump off those ledges and sort of learning the mechanics of how Zelda works. It was a lot of fun then, and it's already a lot of fun now. Let's have a look-see. Oh my god, wow. Okay, fucked up the pick catching. I can't actually see it. Somehow it didn't see me then. There we go. I will go give this to his wife, because she wants it. Oh no! No, cutscenes. You've ruined me. I will speak to you later. Yep, got the message. I wish real life chores were just as easy as pressing buttons. Oh, this kid. I hate this kid. He's disgusting. And there the bloom turns down quite substantially. This looks a lot better. I've played the game through on Dolphin a few times, the original game on Dolphin, which is a GameCube emulator, in 1080p, and it looks really good on that, but this looks amazing, even in comparison to Dolphin. I'm really impressed already. I love the look on his face. Just like complete disappointment. It's like getting really shitty socks for your birthday. Slightly better than socks, I guess. It's a pretty awesome tunic. But the weather's not exactly good for it. I hope I'm not going through these too quickly. I do read fairly fast, and I'm not going to read them out. I'm not the kind of person who role plays while doing commentaries, but I might try and make an effort to slow it down a bit. We'll see how it goes. Like, this game has such a good story and such good characterizations that I don't really want to skip over much of it. And I am going to be quiet when big story things are happening, just so you can fully take in the Wind Waker experience. But I also don't want things to sort of drag on too long. So I'll just try and keep it at a moderate pace, I guess. Alright. I don't know if they've improved the character models exactly, but they've definitely made things smoother. So they've probably cranked up the anti-aliasing. I think it only goes at 30 frames per second still, though. Which is a little disappointing, I guess. I was kind of hoping for 60 frames per second. But then even Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess only went 30 frames per second. It's kind of like a Zelda tradition, I guess, that the games don't go 60 frames. I've never minded because it meant they were much easier to emulate, but there you go. Even she looks upset about it. Like, I appreciate the sentiment, but it's a pretty shitty birthday present if she's only giving it to me for one day. I mean, couldn't I just borrow it anyway? Or would she never normally let me use it? Okay. So the touchscreen is already awesome. And I can use the gyro to look around. That's the best thing ever. Whoops. There we go. Using the gyro there was really cool. Obviously you couldn't see it. I'll see it. Can I look up? Oh, there we go. With the gyro again. That's really cool. That's going to make aiming so much easier later on as well. What's that weird shadow? One of the things I really like about Wind Waker is how quickly the story like kicks off. Like with Twilight Princess in particular, Ocarina of Time to a lesser extent, because I suppose you can sort of count the Deku Tree as things kicking off. But with a lot of Zelda games, it tends to be the case that the first hour or so of the game is quite slow. But with Wind Waker, I'm barely 10 minutes in and already I've had the island attacked by pirates and a giant bird, and some girl is dropped into the ocean, or dropped into the forest from the ocean. So, whoops. Things go at a fairly brisk pace. At least at the start of the game. It does get a bit slower later on, I'll admit that. I really love the fluid attack animations in this game as well. I think it's definitely the the best looking combat in any Zelda, even if it's not the deepest. What? Ah, okay. He doesn't want me to target him. Alright, I'm so used to just targeting everything. Keep thrusting. Those are wise words, people. Always be thrusting. People criticize the parry a lot when the game came out for cheapening the combat, but I think it adds a layer of depth. Like, you have to choose between making pointed attacks yourself or lowering your defenses and waiting for a parry to come up. Hang on, what did... Jump attack, probably. He's so happy. See how the whole room darkened then? That's new. Wield it with B. Awesome. Alright, I'm not gonna go save that girl just yet, because there's pigs to catch. So you get a few rupees for doing this chore for this woman here, getting her little pigs. Better be a good reward. 20 rupees. More pigs, you say? Well, as it just so happens, I know of another pig. Alright, I've gotten a lot better at that, that's for sure. I love how with everything that's just happened offshore, she's still like, you know, can you get me pigs? I love pigs. Look at me floating. That's how you can tell I'm a superhero. Holla holla, get dollar. I think there's one more pig to get. Yep, there it is. Pretty sure it's behind this house. Yep. This is so fucking stealth. Man, he's gonna be there all day. Alright, give me my reward. Happy birthday. It's not really a present if I had to do work for it. Alright. Pirate saving time. I love the gradient on the water at the edge there. That looks really nice. That wasn't in the original game. One thing I do wish they'd implemented is Skyward Sword's run feature. Because you can tell they only put that in because people just roll everywhere when they're playing every other Zelda game. So I kind of wish they'd put it in this, just as a kind of, yeah, we know that everyone rolls. Here's run instead. I love the way the music fades out as you get high up. Into the darkness we go. Bit of a mismatch because he doesn't have a weapon. I was terrified the first time I did this, because I'd never actually played a game like this before, with real-time combat. I'd always been into RPGs and stuff, so I was really nervous about having to fight things on the fly. And going into these first encounters, I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Even though it's the easiest thing in the world. Give me the monies. No. Dynamic shadows are cool as well. They would be cool if they didn't zoom in on them like they did just right then and completely ruin what I was about to say. They were very pixelated and did not look good at all. But at a distance, they're good. She's so sassy. Yeah, don't worry about me. Just the hero of Hyrule over here. No big deal. I love how he just follows anyway. Like, they've just been like, fuck that kid. And he runs after them. Ariel really brings this on herself. Like, why are you up here? Why are you getting involved? Well, see you later. Excellent. Excellent rescue. Sliders. He looks so deflated. I suppose you would be if a giant bird kidnapped your little sister. I love that stance. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back off, buddy. This guy's badass. Well, that shut him up. I don't think it'd be unreasonable at all. It's quite a reasonable request. Something I could use as a shield, like perhaps a shield. BRB. Oh no, Granny's gonna be all sad. It's time for heartwarmings. Don't delude yourself, Granny. Yep. That was the most dynamic scene shift ever. Oh, he's all sad. Yeah, didn't have much to say about that in the end. Does Beetle have anything I need? I'm gonna buy this bag. I do not understand why the whole world gets so dark when you get an item. Um, 30 and 10. Alright, I've got enough to buy one of each. I love how excited Link is getting about a pear, just moments after his sister's been kidnapped. Can't wait for that silver membership. Yes, I'm going to get splinters and cry. Such a forlorn picture. Granny sitting on the deck, watching her only other child sail away. It's a serious look of determination on his face there.